it might really be time for me to shave a little bit. Wow, what a day today with MTP. Yeah, MTP. I feel like I was saying MTB a lot today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see in the recap. But anyway, today was a pretty weird day. I started the day like down $60 before the market opened. I was trying a few pretty classic, pretty standard moves: support line bounces, breaks of 9-minute EMAs, back to the upside, reversals. None of them work. Every time I cut my losses for a small loss. Sometimes I would be up 2-3%, but I was always looking for a little bit more, like 4%, 5%, which really isn't asking for a lot on these small caps that are up, 100, 200, 300%. So I don't know. I wasn't getting that nice follow through today, and it made me very, very cautious into the market open. And I did miss a few opportunities into the market open because I was so cautious. But I was able to avoid any extreme downside because I was managing my risk very, very well. And then eventually MTP, I traded 7 stocks today, and that was really the one that kind of paid for the day. That was the nice one. And I really was patient. I was really just kind of sitting there. I was like, okay, I know this is overextended. Okay, maybe it's going to pull back a little harder this time. I'm going to wait for this move. And we called it all out during the live stream. So today in the recap, I'm going to kind of walk through a lot of that thinking again, with that kind of hindsight knowledge. But feel free to always go through the live stream, which is going to be linked here in a second. But the live stream, like I say, the first pinned comment on the live stream, you can see the timestamps of all the videos. It probably, give me at least like, I don't know, another few hours by the time you're watching this, if it's just uploaded, to make sure that's ready. Yeah, let's go to the charts now, guys. It was kind of a shaky day, but it was a fun day. It was like a day where it was a lot of like tug of war. There was sellers, a lot of sellers, but when those went away for a little bit, we'd have huge moves, and then it was just like But overall, that's why we love trading the market. It's all about being creative, being relaxed, knowing yourself, and then just having fun with it. And that's what we did today. That's why we streamed like an hour longer than usual. So you just got to vibe. It's hard to come in with like a super crazy plan. It's good to have a plan. It's good to stick to your plan, but you got to be flexible. You got to adjust. You got to kind of understand the market you're in. And I think that's what we did pretty well today. So let's go to the charts now, guys. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. Subscribe if you're new. We go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to review the watch list and then trade the market open. I'd love to see you there. Off to the charts now. All right. If I randomly just stop talking in the middle of this video, understand it's been a long day, and I'll have to take a quick breather every now and then. So today we ended up really nicely. $346 so far. We were a little bit all over the place in terms of trading tickers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks traded, and since we're ending the day on $346, the P&L for MTP is $326. So basically, I made almost all my money except $20 trading this one ticker. And this one we didn't really start trading till much later in the day. I need a drink of water. Okay, what was I gonna say? We actually had quite a few things that maybe would be worth going over. Let's see how kind of quickly we can do it. I want to focus on really the bigger movers, and I'm gonna close this screen so I don't keep looking at MTB. And let's just kind of start with the losers, and then we'll go ahead and finish up on MTP, because MTP could be interesting on talking about maybe some swings or something like that. Look at that, $700 million today already being traded, 220% up, market today. So that's, those are some really nice numbers. Let's go to LXRX really quickly, and then go to MGEN. LXRX, this one. And you know what? My tickers might not be showing up here. This is, oh God, this is going to be dreadful if they don't show up. Let me quickly go here to trade. Okay, so thank God they are, because they were not showing up for quite some time today. So LXRX was a lead gapper today. I was very cautious with it because it did have nice catalyst, phase 3 on type 2 diabetes research. Study. So US Biotech, 101 million float, but it was only gapping up 30% pre-market, and it gave back about 30% on this big move here, on this big dip. And I'm always cautious when a stock gives back that much. So I was like, okay, well, LXRX has potential today for maybe a bigger move, but it really needs to hold over VWAP. So this trade was a trade off a big support And I was looking for that, you know, continuation back above VWAP, and we didn't really get that. And I never really looked at it again. Took a small loss on this one, $21. So it is what it is. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Let's go to MGEN. Where's that one? Where's it hiding? MGEN. Another gapper this morning, 85% gapping pre-market, 83 million float, US beverage company with a huge merger deal with 4 companies. Big news, huge news actually. But again, this one sold off so aggressively. And like I say, you got to be careful with stocks selling off. So this one I took fairly early today at 7 o'clock. And this is why I'm so exhausted. I was looking at the charts in 650. Now it's 1227. So just a long day. Yeah, same move, literally, as LXRX. Wanted to buy this bounce here. Was up about 3%, was looking for the crack of 9-minute EMA. We had some nice volume coming in here. Again, this was a big sell-off, about 30%. I'm always cautious on these. Again, we didn't get it. I was like, what's going on? And this one's very, very similar. Sells off quite a bit. So you want to be careful when a stock is not holding its highs. It's a big red flag. No matter how good the catalyst is, it means there's something going on that we're not aware of. Maybe some warrants, maybe some dilution that we don't know. Big seller, institutional, somebody dumping their shares. I don't know. That's basically what it gives a sign of. So MGEN, boom, another fail, another 20 bucks down the toilet. I honestly, I started the day off when the market opened down like 60 bucks, and I was like, oh, typical. Next one, MBRX. This one, actually, I had higher hopes for. One of our lead gappers today, 40 million float, 40% gapping up, 46 million float, US biotech, confirmed antiviral activity on coronavirus. So this one actually had pretty decent news, but I noticed pre-market, the way this one was acting was so shady. And we've seen it a lot in the past where it does not really hold its highs well. It has these big spikes to the upside, but that's about it. It gives it back a lot of money. And also check out the volume. Doesn't have a lot of high relative volume for the day. So kind of a lot of red flags across the board. I was looking for a little bit of a retest here. So I bought the support here like before, was waiting for a break of the 9-minute EMA. We got a little break. I was up like 2% on this one, and then it sold off. I sold as this break was weak, as the first trade basically broke even on. Second trade, bought the dip here. I was up like 4 or 5% on this one. Didn't sell all of my positions, sold small position here, and I was looking for the rest around VWAP. Again, didn't get this. I think this one I actually ended up red on. I was like, oh, gotta be kidding me. We had another attempt here in break of the 9-minute. Again, didn't work. Then I bought this attempt of the 9-minute. Worked. I was up like 3%. But didn't sell in time, and I actually lost money on this one. The one that worked, I lost money on because I bought the breakout instead of buying the dip. Yeah, and then here I actually bought a breakout again, and then I sold. Yeah, a little profit here. I don't know. It was a complete disaster. MBRX. Basically, all of this pre-market trading, I lost $6. That was basically the end of result of this. I have not traded this again since then. Big support here at 125, so that would have been a way to trade it. And I think, no, I didn't write it down, but I feel like 125, there's something about this zone that I had notated. This is the 4-hour chart. And yeah, you can see big support of 127, 125. We came down there and bounced off of it. So if I was going to trade this one, I wish I just, stuck to that trade. It would have been so obvious. Let's keep going here. BKYI, I actually bought this pre-market with a leftover limited order, BKYI and BKYI. I'm down $2.60 on this one right now. Basically, in a nutshell, what I was looking for is, this was a recent spiker. We were trading this in the past, and we were kind of coming down here some big support, and I actually bought this big support at 62. Now, I was a little bit cautious because it did come out with an offering here, offering at 65 cents per share. Yeeks. You want to be very careful with this offering news, and that's why I only bought it under $65. Big support in this zone. I'm really looking for a smaller bounce. I'm not trying to be greedy on this one. Ideally back to this floor here at 0.7. So maybe we can wrap up a little bit of profits on this one. But I really, really want to be careful here. So this one could have a nice run back to 0.7, or it could sell off even further. I would probably consider buying this one more time here. I have a limit order at 0.57. I'm not sure if we're going to get anything. I'm a little cautious because, sometimes these tend to dump. a second time, and I don't really want to be part of that. Although this thing has dumped several times already, so maybe the dumping is over. I mean, this thing's been pulling back quite aggressively for a couple of days now. I don't know. There's really not much to say on this one. Either I'm going to walk away with a small profit or take a small loss. I have tiny position size on this one, so it's not even really too worth talking about. But overall, I do think there is a chance that we might see 0.7, so I'm going to keep holding it just a little bit longer here. Yeah, let's get to the profitable trades. We had IMRN. This was a lead gapper from the day before. I actually started off down $20 on IMRN. And I gotta say, this is so crazy because IMRN, we traded so much the day before. And then at $10 in the recap video, guys, if you watched the recap from yesterday, I'm like, $10 is huge support on IMRN. What happens? The stock literally goes down to $10 and then bounces off of that zone and runs up 158%. Oh, sometimes I really just wish I listened to myself more often. Sometimes I'm totally wrong, but then you manage your risk. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about getting aggressive when the opportunities arrive, cutting the losses when you're wrong, and letting it ride as long as possible when you're right. It's really that simple. So let's go here. IMRN, starts pulling back pre-market. I really didn't want to be part of this too much. I knew this thing could have a warrant come out offering or something. I didn't trust this one. But I did like the fact that we were pulling back here. It looked like we were going to break the 9-minute EMA, and we did. Unfortunately, I got kind of squeezed away here. I just got shaken out and took a small loss. This is actually 2 trades here. Both the times I traded, I take a loss. I trade it again, I take a loss. I'm like, gotta be kidding me. And then guess what happens? Market opens, this thing runs up 14-15%, and I guess who's not on board? Me. It's kind of ridiculous. IMRN, we did know though that $16 multi-month support and resistance zone, and that was looking really good. So when we kind of came back to this area after the market opened, I went ahead and bought this dip here, 16.59, as we were breaking this zone. And then, I took my small profits here. Again, this was a small move, but I made it like 35 bucks on it, which basically went from, negative 20 to up $15. And I was like, yes, at least I'm not red on this ticker anymore. Somehow it feels good not to be red on a ticker. I wanted to buy this dip here, but I was doing something else at the time. This is a 9% bounce. So after that, I felt like I missed. That was the second opportunity on this one, and I didn't know what was going to happen after that. And look, it's just been messy ever since. So it was good to not really give this one too much attention. But IMRN, 4 million float, big lead gapper from the day before. But really, like I've said during the live stream, I like to focus on the first big green day, and that was MTP. But first, let's talk about MBEV, because this one, I gotta say, was so funny the way this one was moving, and we could have traded this 100 times today. We could still be trading it. This same setup. Oh God, hilarious. So pre-market, I'm like, okay, MBEV, I review it, 85% gapping up pre-market, 83 million float, U.S. beverages company with that merger with 4 additional companies. Why do I feel like I said that about a different ticker? It was definitely NBEV. Maybe I mixed up another ticker with something else. I'm sorry. Well, NBEV, this is the one with the beverage company mergers. So I know on the daily chart that this one, it has huge float. For a small cap, this one's got a ginormous float. So I know that it's probably not going to have a flash pullback and sell off super aggressively, because it takes a lot more money to move this stock. So now I know that there's 2.5 is also big support. So I know this company is not going to have huge pullbacks, and I also know that this company has big support at 2.5. So I went ahead, put a limit order here at roughly like 2.57 or something like that. I did a front running 5.8, and which was good because we pulled back really quickly. I had no time to enter this one, so I had a limit order ready to go here, and then I got a nice little bounce. Sold too soon because I sold here at around 68, and then it runs up 12% from when I sold. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I also used way too small position size. I only used $1,000 on this trade. Very, very small. Same setup here. Again, sold way too soon, so I walked away with small profit on this one, like literally a couple cents or a couple dollars. This one was really where I made all the money. Yeah, could have traded it one more time in this area, 9%. Had kind of a similar setup here when this, pulled back above, would have been a good entry back above 2.5. Then again here, 2.5. I mean, you could have been trading this setup on MBEV all day today and walked away with some really nice money. The problem is you just never know if it, like, is this the last bounce, right? Obviously, if it was that easy, everyone would do it, and it's not that easy. But, looking back, it's kind of funny to see something like that. And then MTP, this is the hot one. This is the one that exploded today very, very nicely. And I traded this one pretty late. So let's kind of go over what was happening here pre-market, because this one, pre-market was really interesting. And honestly, MTP, I was a little bit nervous about the way it was trading because it was really choppy. I mean, we were below VWAP, we were above VWAP, we were pulling back below VWAP, we were back above it. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is this ticker? 5 million float. First of all, that's beautiful. UK Biotech, Collab, Q, Sphera platform. I'm not totally sure. I didn't look into that too much. Here you go. Spurs, K-Sphera platform with European affiliate of Global. I don't know. Has a catalyst, has partnerships, collaboration, all the stuff that I usually like to see. I didn't dive too much into this one, but I knew that 2.5 was big support. But I also knew that this one was very, very choppy pre-market, and I knew I didn't really want to, get too aggressive on this one, which is a little bit unfortunate because actually this one was really the one to get aggressive on. Felt like something just broke. Okay, let me squeeze in here again, and then let's dive into the market open, because I made a fundamental mistake on this one. We open up here and I had a limit order right here and I missed it pre-market. I had it at like 297 or 296. I literally missed this by like 1 or 2 cents. Market opens, goes up 13%. I'm already a little butthurt because I missed my entry. And I'm like, nah, everything's pulling back this morning except the overall market. I'm going to give this one a chance to pull back. It does not. It breaks up again. And then we kind of start consolidating here at $4. And again, I'm like, nah, it's way too high. I'm going to give it another chance. Pulls up again. I'm like, okay, now it's really high. I'm definitely going to give it a chance to pull back to like, I don't know, below $4. Doesn't do it again. Flies up again. 9-minute EMA pullbacks all day. This thing just goes, and goes. And then it goes again here at 4.5. This is literally, at this point, I was like, it's definitely over. Like, oh my God, this was a huge run. I absolutely missed it. I wanted a nice pullback. We never got it. I'm going to wait for a nice 5-minute bull flag setup. This was a 60% move. And guess what? This thing says, nope, not today, Alex. And goes again, 1, 2, 3 candles. Each one of those candles is about 13%. This move was insane. Right here to here, 38%. Crazy. So it's like 13% candles. I totally missed this one. I was really focused on a few other tickers, and that's kind of a big reason I didn't trade this one. But I also was just very biased. I was like, no, this is up too much. No, I can't trade this. No. I don't know. I just couldn't get myself to trade it. So let's kind of go forward here, because eventually after 10 o'clock is I think when I do my first entry on NTP. Yeah, it goes up again past $6. Okay, when I saw this and we had the attempted breakout of 6.5, I was like, uh-oh, this is officially on the backside of the move. We want to be careful with MTP from now on. And from now on, we actually start trending towards a VWAP. This was the big indicator. We had a failed breakout here. Lower volume as well. So let's go here. Eventually $6 breaks. Oops, what am I clicking on? And then 5.5 breaks. And then I'm like, okay, we have huge support between 5 and 530. So this is where I'm looking for a potential entry. We get a dip here. And then I sell very quickly because I it was a messy trade for me. I was still right on the day. I still didn't have the confidence built up, and I tried to buy this, bottom, and I sold way too soon because this runs up. Oh, I was so kind of annoyed about this trade. 12% move. I could have, made $100 on that and like kind of crawled out of the hole a bit. So again, I'm like, okay, well, let's wait for a pullback and let's not buy the dip on VWAP because VWAP bounces tend to be a little bit shaky. But it was. And then the second VWAP touch cracks 5, but it didn't crack it very strong. So that's when I was like, there's a lot of buyers in this ticker. So let me get a little bit more aggressive here. And that is what I did. So the next time we had a little bit of a dip, I got fairly aggressive. I originally wanted to wait for 4.75 roughly, and I bought in 4.88. And that's when we had this nice move higher. Unfortunately, I sold before the big spike here, so I left it like $200 of profit on the table on that one sell too early alone. But this one instantly got me back green, and I was like, yes, I'm green on the day. I'm feeling good. I'm like kind of vibing with MTP. There's a lot of power behind this one, so let's kind of keep riding it. Here at MTP, I missed this one again. I wanted to buy this pullback here, this bigger setup, but honestly, it was at 11 o'clock, and sometimes bad news comes out at 11, and I didn't. That was honestly what was in my mind. If I was purely trading the technicals, I would have 100% traded this one, but I was so worried about some bad news coming out, so I didn't trade it. Again, I missed the big move to the upside, and I'm like, God, like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I'm over here, I'm walking away with like 4% or so, or more than 4%. You can never complain about making profits, but like, this was a big move, and I walked away with like a tiny fraction of that move. But at least I didn't get a red move. At least I didn't lose money on it. So that's already one step in the right direction. At this point, I was like, we're pulling back, but got to be careful. We might be on the backside of a move here. So we pulled back again, and I actually bought more shares on that pullback, and then we pulled higher here, and I took some profits very quickly. And this one put me nice higher. I think I was like up 200 on the day now with MTP. And then I was like, okay, this one's a little weak, but I think it might start seeing some decent support at one point. Well, let me go back a little bit. But right now it's still looking shaky, but I think, we have some big support coming in here. And definitely the $6 zone, we know this is multi-month support and resistance. We know we broke above this and retested here 2-3 times before pulling back. We also know this is a retest zone and a breakout zone. So $6 is a big confirmation zone. And that's why when we broke $6, I was like, let's see how $6 holds. And if we crack $6 with low volume, I think I'm going to jump in on it. And that's why I jumped in on this one at 581. And then right away, I actually bought more at 568. And because it was looking weak, and I was like, I don't really like how weak it is, so I quickly took my profits here, and I rebought. I didn't take all my profits, and then I rebought here at 5.5, and then I bought, and then I sold. This was like getting kind of crazy, this trade. I was like, this was kind of fun to watch. I'm sure it was fun for me to trade, but again, I took my profits a little bit too soon. Wait, no, I didn't. This thing actually, now I remember. It tried to break 6. I think it broke 6 for a second and then pulled back again. Yeah, there was the quick broke a 6. That's what I thought. Yeah, and then this one as well, and then it had the quick ferocious pullback. Yeah, and then this is when I was like, okay, I'm done with trading. Like, I feel like at this point, I'm like kind of getting more emotional. I'm getting like super in the vibe and grooving well. But it's 12:30. It's kind of late in the day. It's really easy for me to trip over myself. Volume is fading. There's a good chance I'm going to get stuck in a flush or something like that. This is a 13% pullback. I didn't want to give back my profits after being up $300 on this one. So I basically just said, I'm going to throw in the towel. I think there was some good trading opportunities on MTP, and maybe I would consider trading this with small size. But honestly, I kind of like the fact that, I'm done with trading and, walking away. It's a good feeling. I don't know, maybe I'll put an alert here, see if it pulls higher, but I gotta edit the video. I got to, thumbnail, all that fun stuff. I gotta film the intro still. So I'm busy, so I'm probably not gonna be looking at this till at least another, 2 hours. So unless it maybe, I don't know, the stars would really have to align, but we'll see what happens. Most likely I'm totally done with trading. In terms of, will I trade this or will I consider holding it overnight? I think there's a lot of power behind this one. And with a 5 million float, it has that big spike ability. We had huge resistance here, and we were not able to get past that $7 resistance. So I'm a little cautious with that, but I would probably consider buying this on a bigger pullback, maybe to $4 or so, as long as no really bad news comes out. I think this one might see a nice little spike pre-market, but again, that's all just thoughts. A lot of these last spikes have not held very well. So I would really like to see, how this one holds into the evening and kind of make my decisions from there. Most likely I won't be trading this though, but here's an example of 2 big green days in a row. That's really, really nice. Here we've had a multi 1, 2, 3 big green days. So, there is the chance, but there's also these chances of just selling off. So I feel like if we hold our highs well, I mean, this thing pulled back, what is this, 20 something percent from the highs, 22%. So if, let's say, MTB right now pulls back 22% of the highs, that'd be pretty much right here at 550. So maybe this is a bit of a big support zone here at 5 that maybe we're not going to really pull lower from. I don't know. These are all just kind of thoughts, and but for sure there's big support here. So if we do not crack below 550, there's a good chance that this might have an afternoon run or some sort of run pre-market. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I love the news on this one. I mean, I love the overall performance of this one. The news is a little bit questionable, but it's always really hard to fully decipher the news. So I don't put too much weight on that as long as it has nice catalysts, collaborations, partnerships. These are always kind of big news that I like to see, especially when they're with larger companies. So I feel fairly bullish on this one, but you just don't know. Is it going to have be a one-day wonder? Is it going to have maybe a few days? Who knows? So we'll see what happens. That's everything for today for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. It was a little bit longer today. I hope you enjoyed the recap. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Subscribe if you're new. I'd love to see you in the community. Till then, guys, till tomorrow, I'll see you at 9:15 to review the watch list and trade the market open. Till then, ciao, ciao.